And look who's back from the very orange-looking Green Yamo Studios. At least we know it's almost 4 o'clock on whatever day this is. And there is Leo the dog in the background sitting in on yet another video. Which reminds me, damn, I wrote down the guy's name too. Remember I did mailbag on my last video, and I said one guy, something Journeyman, he said that I helped him get over his or her bias towards Leos, and I thought Leo as law enforcement officer. Maybe he meant that Leo. I don't know if I would help him get over that bias for that Leo, because that Leo's a needy little fuck. So let's get on to the topic of this one. This one was actually going to be not the video I intended to make. I was just going to I was taking some preliminary videos at our new range, and I just wanted to do some background. Basically wanted to get reacquainted with this this thing right here. I'm not going to shoot you through the screen. Get reacquainted with this old girl right here, because remember I wanted to do a 1911 video, or at least start one on it. And I was just going to take some range ammo, run it through there, and just to see how it goes. Just to get, just to get my chops back with it, so I don't look like a total fool as I try to do a 1911 video. And I discovered, unfortunately, although the gun, I don't blame the gun at all. I had a ton of malfunctions. And I mean a malfunction almost every magazine. They all came from failure to feed. And of course, of all the crap I brought out, I didn't bring out the ammo. Now, granted, I was using federal range ammo, and I don't really, before this scamdemic, I never really used range ammo that much. Most of the shooting that I did on all my videos was with actual ammo that I would carry or shoot, unless I was really shooting a lot of rounds for I know the SIG, I was blasting a lot of rounds off it just to get up to 1,000 rounds, which I am over by now. Most of it was with carry ammo because, what's the point? You're training, right? But times being what they are, course being what they are, I picked up a box. I think I showed it on the last video of the 45 ACP. And as I'm running through it, and damned, this thing, I'm going to run video to show it just did not like it. That's why when I go to the video segments of me actually shooting on this presentation, it's just going to be, I took it with my fucking cell phone. My wife was there with me. We just took it on a cell phone. So it's not going to be this panoramic view. Unfortunately, it's going to be this straight up and down vertical crap. Speaking of the wife, there she is right now. Should I take this call live? No, I'll pause it. And we're back. I was actually going to pause it and come back to give you a glimpse into my life, but now I think I'll probably try and insert a cute little cutscene on that. That was the wife who you'll see on video later, giving me some very important news. Anyway, I took that opportunity to go show you what I was actually shooting. Just federal, black pack bulk ammo. It looks like 45 ACP. It sure as hell didn't work like it in my 1911. So I'll end this first segment by now just by showing you a couple of clips of all my adventures of just trying to put magazines through what is otherwise a superb firearm. So let's actually go to the range for the first time in months. Today's a day for failures. Failure to feed. Huh. First malfunction on this gun. And it's on the extended magazine. That's something I want to keep an eye on. Right.
Okay.
Now we're rolling?
Yep, we're rolling.
All right. I'm going to try and get through 2 magazines of this federal without any more stoppages. With some distance again. Okay. One down. Oh. Fail to feed. Son of a... And it's with that extended magazine, too. You know what? Maybe it doesn't like this federal, maybe it doesn't like the old slide stop type of shit. So let's pretend. Okay, fed that. Nope, failed to feed. I'm trying to make a video about how great this gun is, and I've had nothing but stoppages all day. And with the extended magazine.
Is it always with the extended magazine?
Huh?
Is it always with the extended magazine?
You know what? I never use this extended magazine. Sorry. I never use this extended magazine. And again, bunch of rounds downrange, that's about 25 yards away, firing quickly. And it's why I love this gun. If it would feed, well, you know what? I'm not going to say that because I've never had a failure. I've never had a stoppage in this gun when using premium ammo. You know, so maybe it doesn't like the old range stuff, which is a little disappointing because, you know, range stuff is cheap. But all right, I'll keep an eye on that. Cut. No, you're fine. Now, what you didn't see off camera was when I was putting some rounds through this, I actually had another failure to feed. So maybe this thing doesn't like this range ammunition. There were 2 failures out of this gun, which is the first 2 it's ever had. So we're gonna do some long distance now with this magazine that I don't really trust. Successfully went through 1 magazine. Let's see how we did. And that's why I like this gun. 25 yards away, firing fairly quickly. You see what I mean? A little disappointing and a little surprising because those really were my first malfunctions that I recall having with this firearm. So, you know, I guess the moral of the story is if you're carrying 1911 to defend your life, don't use range ammo. But I tell you one thing, I did because this is how strongly I feel about you guys. I did brave the scamdemic ammo shortage, which I alluded to. There really isn't an ammo shortage here in New York of handgun ammo. You can get just about everything. It's just slightly more expensive, and they limit you to how many rounds you can purchase. Because again, in New York, no one's allowed to have guns, so you can't get shotgun ammo. Good luck getting that or buying a shotgun. But if you're running around with one of these bad boys, you can get pretty much a lot of anything you had before. So when I was there, just picking up ammo for when I do actually get into my chronograph thing, picked up some interesting ones. 45 ACP, a little plus P, and another plus P round. I think everything Underwood makes is plus P. A 200 grain plus P. So I'm curious as to see. This is rated at 1,000 feet per second. As I said, Underwood usually does it. It hits close to that. I'm curious to see how we're doing. This is a 185 grain plus P. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. I love playing with bullet weights and different pressures just to see how we're going to do on them and see, you know, what might be something I would carry if I was to be some kind of a lunatic and carry this. The next footage I did shoot at the range was a little bit of again, it's going to be a continuation more of when I put real cameras on it, and I want to do a whole big thing as far as what, you know, my wife shooting various firearms. I'm actually pulling up some videos. See, I'm again very Quentin Tarantino-esque. I'm going to put this whole thing together in post. Okay, look at me using terms like that. This is going to be a post-production type of thing. Let's see if I'm still wearing the same ratty shirt throughout the whole thing. But what I want to refer to is here, if I could find it. Bear with me. I know it's I'm just so goddamn prepared for these things. I want to get, oh yeah, how can I forget? Duck and cover. Duck and cover in my previous mailbag, which is pretty much what the whole video was last time. He or she asked about the actual perfect firearm for a woman with small hands, and everyone always says, get the small one, get the small one. Well, I did some preliminary on that. I didn't do it again because I always, again, was getting preliminary because this was the first time my wife really put any rounds downrange in a long time. So I wasn't going to use this as the finished video. I wanted to let her, again, get her chops in because she has much less repetition, much less muscle memory when it comes to firearms than I do. But I did run video with my cell phone on the thing, and I think we had her use her 380 EZ. I let her use my LCP2, which is 380, same caliber, same rounds, same everything. That was the same. That was apples to apples. Just the guns were different. And also, I took some video of her just getting her reacquainted shots, and also her first real shots with her SIG 365, which hers has the curved trigger. So I have all of those videos on there now, and I think I'm going to mash them together in a way to show what a difference. The SIG, small gun. It felt good in her hands in the gun store. The LCP2, it's a small gun. Women are supposed to be carrying small guns, right? And then with the slightly larger 380 EZ, what the difference was, and I'll let her commentary speak for itself. And then also, I also threw in, I think I made a joke about the hot chicks shooting big guns on the internet. I gave her the biggest gun that I brought to the range that day just to see how she likes it. And spoiler alert, loves it. Absolutely loves it. I don't know where a woman hides something like this. Get your minds out of the gutter. But she loves it. So I'm definitely going to continue that and maybe make it a full video based off of that question from Duck and Cover. So you see, it's actually not a bad thing that I actually read some of you guys' responses to me, because it adds ideas to the channel. So we'll cut to these videos, and I'll just do a quick thing of her. We'll just make this trying the various firearms, and I'll let her commentary speak for itself mostly, and then we'll come back with my following segment. All right, so we're going to start with the 380 EZ, the larger. Again, what are we doing at? We got the 380 EZ and the LCP2. Same caliber gun, same ammunition is in it. 4 rounds each. And let's see the opinion of an actual woman. Let's see if the small cute gun or the larger, harder to conceal gun is the way to go.
I say it's going to be the larger.
Whichever one you want to start with, beautiful.
See, already.
And we're hot.
Yes, I am. No, kidding. Show my terrible shooting.
It's not terrible if that's somebody's face. Okay, let's go back. Now let's see how the
Okay.
the tiny, what? Same distance.
Okay.
Let's see how the tiny girl gun does.
I already don't like it.
Huh?
I already don't like it.
But it's small. You're a girl. You're supposed to like it because it's small, right?
Yeah, but it's fumble.
Exactly.
It's fumble distance.
Slam it in.
Jesus.
There you go. Make it hot. Okay. Now again, it's a new trigger.
I don't like
I expect it's a totally unfamiliar gun to you, but
Totally.
I honestly don't think you put one of those on paper.
I don't think so either. Maybe one. Maybe this one.
Yeah, there's 5 holes, so maybe that one. Oh wait, no, we'll count that. That kind of went on paper.
I didn't feel like I had enough control with this one.
It's tiny, right?
was-
It's and the
I don't
same
have
round.
really tiny hands though.
How much snappier did that feel in your hand with shooting the exact same round? Did it feel like it was jumping more in your hand?
Yes.
That's your safety. Very good. And not much experience with this gun, so let's get good at it. Ow. I hope the camera.
First time with this?
Take this to ridiculous proportions now. Now, this is not a 380. This is a 45 ACP and a much bigger, heavier gun. And let's see how the woman I brought to the range is gonna make this work. You're up, gorgeous.
Yeah, you want this brass
Much
to
heavier.
reload or anything?
No, not at all. Thank you.
Okay, so it is heavier.
Did you found the safety?
Right now
We're hot.
I didn't want to do it until I was ready. Is it going to kick back a lot?
Well, let's see. It's a much heavier gun. How'd that feel?
I like it. But I don't know if I can get anything.
You haven't missed yet. Let's take a look. You're out. You're clear. Very good.
Trigger the gun, that's easier to shoot.
Is
Yeah,
it?
that's your best group all day. Now, it's a single action trigger on a 1911, but still, right? 45 ACP, that little 380, you control that better.
Didn't like that a little.
Well,
in here?
huh?
How many are in here?
7 rounds, I believe. Actually, no, yeah, 7 rounds. Thereabouts. It'll be a surprise. Right?
Okay,
In my YouTube video of hot chicks shooting big guns, right?
nice.
There we go. And again, let's take a look at the damage. And you see, this is why I have hope for you.
Oh, I think I want this gun.
Yeah, that is the one flyer. There's your group. That's where you're aiming. Now you see the difference?
You need to
You
do-
go it. Last mag of the day. Actually, it's the last of our 380.
Here we go, bitches.
There you go. Slingshot it forward. End on a high note.
But they're all the same.
Let's see.
That's not the high note. That is the low left note.
Hey, you know what, though?
That's consistent.
We're not going to call that a flyer because it's your best one, but that's a nice group. Ready to go now? Let's see how
I'm
we
ready.
look. What did we do?
Not bad for not shooting in a long time.
Not bad.
And hardly ever shooting.
And it did lock back up. Looks like we have a failure.
Malfunction.
Let's take a look. Hold video this. Let's take a look at this. Let's document this. Look at this.
Look at that. What
We got a
happened?
failure there. Failure on the last round. Remember the issue we were
Yes,
having with
I
this
do
thing?
remember.
With the failure on the last round?
There you go.
We're going to not use that magazine anymore. I want to be able to, this is the magazine I want to send back to Smith. Because remember, we always forgot which magazine it was? So we're going to... Now, there's a couple of things you should notice in that string of videos. And again, I was filming them as if I was actually going to do like the whole compilation thing. But again, it was off the cuff, just using my cell phone. In seeing that raw footage, I do want to actually put something together with her because I think there's some information there that's worth actually getting out there if I can be serious. But a couple of things you should notice about that. One, she immediately hated the small LCP2, even though her hands, trust me, her hands are tiny as compared to my circus hands. She does have small hands. She hated that small little gun because it's not a pleasant gun to shoot, which kind of flies in the face of that whole belief, a small woman, small gun type of thing. Number two, I was kind of douchey in giving her, when her first shots out of that the 365 was not with some type of, you know, lead-in range stuff. You know, she doesn't have a ton of experience behind a trigger with a 9mm yet, and of course I had it loaded with the plus P 124 grain NYPD specials. In retrospect, I probably shouldn't have done that. It was a little off-putting to her, and you saw how snappy it was. It was actually pushing her back. But again, that comes with practice because it is a quality gun. Something else you should notice is that the 1911 in that group was the clear winner. Yeah, it seemed to have on some shots it kicked a little bit more, but a lot of that I think might have been just her getting used to a very unfamiliar platform. And this is an unfamiliar platform to a lot of people. And let's face it, this kind of freaks people out. You know what I mean? The whole cocked and lock thing and getting that manual safety and that hammer hanging back there and looking all dangerous for you. But once the actual shooting started, she learned what millions, if hundreds of thousands of people have learned before that, is that this is a sweet 1911 trigger. And you'll see, I don't know how much of her other shooting I'm going to throw on this video. She's good. She's good. But, you know, as common with new shooters, if she's going to fail low left, you know, because as a right-handed shooter, you pull that way, you're gonna sometimes drop that barrel low left. Still not bad. She holds good groups, but she'll get that low left thing going on. You saw some of those groups that she had with the old 1911, right? Now, was a lot of that just because there isn't enough time to go low left? It's a sweet single action trigger. Is it just the feel of the gun in his hands? I don't know. We're going to explore that as time goes on. One more thing before I cut to the mailbag section of this hopefully short video. I don't know if I'm going to include it. Maybe I will. I'll throw it in. I don't know. Maybe at the end of it. I tell you what. At the end of that shit, I'll note it that one of her first few magazines warming up with her 380 EZ. Again, a very pleasant gun to shoot. Once again, we had an issue with this magazine. We narrowed it down to this magazine. This magazine is going to go back to Smith. I think I caught it on the video. And again, very odd, the last round, it's stovepipes, but it's not a real stovepipe because the round isn't fired. On the last round, it doesn't feed properly, and you got a live round sticking straight up like that out of the chamber. And while I'm at it, because I documented, I probably should have did this on the end of the first segment when I showed my 1911 malfunctions. Or did I show them already? I don't know. Now, well, in case I did show them already, I noticed most of my failure feeds, maybe all, were on this extended magazine. Now, what's the deal with this extended magazine? I don't know. You've all heard my rants about extended magazines on guns to begin with, right? Remember, I said with when I had my shield and this, all the crap you put on a small gun to get more rounds in it. You know, if you're going to carry something that makes it as big as a Glock 19, why don't you just fucking carry a Glock 19? In this particular case, although this is a giant gun, I wish Ruger had packed 2 flush-fitting magazines with this. I don't see the gain of getting one more round to make this gun, which is damn near impossible to conceal, fully impossible to conceal. I don't like extended magazines. I don't like extended magazines, especially when they cause a gun to fail. Now, granted, it was with range ammunition, but the failures came with this magazine. So, you know, I don't know. I don't like extended magazines. And boy, I hope I completely forgot if I showed the video yet. So now we're going to end this portion and we're going to go to the mailbag section of this video. And in the meantime, I'm going to check to see what I recorded so far and make sure this makes sense to everybody. But should be mailbag next. And as you could tell from that banner, yes, this video should make sense when I put it together in post-production. So here we are in the mailbag section. And by mailbag section, I don't actually receive any mail. I'm actually going to respond live to some comments that I may have. Well, actually, I'm going to, because I'm keeping on top of it now, I could probably pretty much hit all the comments. So let's dive right into it. A comment on September 17th was Michael Cody. He did give away his speed loaders and pouches when he went to the Glock. He still has a swivel holster. Will never part with that piece of history. Be glad you're out and getting monthly visits from the pension fairy. The job is done. Yes, the pension fairy. It is a lovely monthly visit. And yeah, Michael, of everything, I regret giving away my swivel holster. I mean, you can get speed loaders and speed loader pouches, although I don't know why I would unless you have a stupid YouTube channel. But that swivel holster is something I would have liked to have kept with my original leather equipment. But you know, it's chalk the many mistakes I made. Pops McCarthy is responding. He also on 17th. Great video. You would make a great Southerner. He survived Laura, but it took my private range out. I will rebuild it better. Out of power for 10 days. You know, Pops, I'm sorry you're out of power for 10 days, but I can't feel too sorry for a guy who has a private range. Wink, wink. You again, one of my earliest subscribers. Always good to hear from him. Rob Tenring commented, Glad to see you doing well. I hope your wife gets on a video. My wife also has a 380 Easy. Well, you know what, Rob Tenring? Your wish is my command. Here she is on video. You'll be seeing more of her when in a more polished production. Again, this was kind of a thrown together thing. I didn't even think a lot of this footage was going to make it on. Frank Butter. Bought a Smith & Wesson Model 627 a month ago. Wife loves it. It's a Plinker with 38 specials. I guess it's kind of along those lines of we were talking about what firearms for women. And extremely manageable 357 Magnums. I had J-frames for a long time. Your revolver videos did help push me towards the larger pieces. It's a 4-inch barrel end frame. It's actually concealable in a pancake holster with a light jacket. Keep up the good work. Okay. Again, when I actually get this her out there and a few other things going, I will introduce a 357 Magnum because I think that's something that's going to be interesting. I'm not going to stick a 14-ounce J-frame in her hands with full house 357 loads, but I am going to put that GP100 in her hand and see how she likes it, along with the Model 629 with 44 Special in it, to see how she likes that. And along those lines, you know what? I'll get to that later. Next one. Did Duck and Cover even respond to that? No, I might have cut that off wrong. Sorry about that. Next one is a comment from Duck and Cover, also on September 18th. And doing some homework for me. Thank you, Duck and Cover. In case I save you time looking, the Smith & Wesson Model 64 used the H-gas speed loader. Thank you. And yeah, that's on top of the last comment, the only one who's talking about ammo testing instead of hoarding it. That's pretty funny. Although maybe not. It's all the same comment. That's why I put on the same thing. Duck and Cover, you're probably one of the only gun tubers who's talking about testing ammo instead of hoarding it. Yeah, what can I say? It's an unusual situation in New York. As long as you're willing to go half broke buying it, it is available. Now, I'm not going to blow all these rounds down range, and I'll explain that when I talk about what the coming attractions. Another one from Duck and Cover on September 18th. Love the 64. Yeah, I'm lucky to have my NY 64 3-inch factory stocks with Tyler T-grip. Very comfortable and points instinctively. Huh. And Duck and Cover also said he's back. Yes, I was back. I guess that was a long time between videos, huh? John Rambo. SIG's newest 365 holster is pretty nice. It has a nice strut that pushes the pistol grip towards your abdomen for better concealment. I've used it in gym shorts for a 2-mile jog without issue. Well, you see, that's why I always read these things. I like getting equipment suggestions, and I will certainly look into that. Because although I love this gun, for me, it's not quite gym shorty. It's just a little too heavy. Perfect size, but just a little too heavy. But I'll explore anything because, again, I'm as I said in one of my other videos, I'm much more armed with this as opposed to that little 380. What else we got? John 316. Not Stone Cold 316. John 316. Great review of the S&W 360. I got one for all those reasons, but you forgot. Some of us find it hard to rack the slide of a handgun. Not all men and women will have those strong hands at 2 a.m. when someone busts in the front door. All some of us have arthritis, which makes it difficult to use a handgun, but a piece of cake with a revolver. Reloading revolver is less problems than using painful magazines. So revolver is the best defense gun as you age into the 90s. Yeah. Again, I'm fortunately hand strength is not my issue. Overall strength is not my issue. But it's a quick bring to bear gun. I'm assuming we're talking about the whole nightstand thing and revolver thing. And I never want to get into revolver semi-auto debates because there's plus and minuses as I covered extensively in my nightstand thing. But for a quick nightstand, someone's on top of me. For me, it's going to be a revolver until proven otherwise. And again, I have that revolver as a nightstand. This is my home defense, and refer to another video if you don't know what I'm talking about. Jaywell commented, I happen to have 2 HKS 6-shot. They're SB loaders. Don't have the gun I bought them for anymore. Yours if you want them. Well, thank you, Jaywell. I would have taken you up on that. Unfortunately, by the time I read this, I already had the HKS in my possession. But thanks for the offers. Any of you guys want to throw me money, I'm also available for that too. Zach York. Really enjoyed your channel. I stumbled across it after I got myself a 360. Have to say I love this gun too. I think a slight upgrade to the XS Tritium front sight big dot is going to make it my favorite firearm ever owned. Keep up the good work. Another big dot. I think I might be losing my mind on this one. I'm not even drunk. if this is a repeat comment, I apologize. But I really, I gotta get myself a big dot. I gotta see what they're about. I think I like the look of them. I think I'd like running them. So we're gonna see. Let's see. Tom L. Just today commented about, remember that OE, that flat trigger install on the 365. How can you forget the 365? And I said I tried to put that other pin in and it just would not go, and I had no goddamn clue why it was. He suggested maybe it's possible different generations had a larger pin bore, and I think I responded to him in the comment section. That's entirely possible and an excellent observation. This is loaded, so I'm not going to shoot all of you. I'll keep it pointed in a safe direction. Maybe it was. I know Sig was very kind of hushy, tight-lipped about generations on these things, because as they refused to acknowledge the whole firing pin issue, they came out with, like, whereas Glock stamps the generations on the side, this is kind of a, it's stamped underneath the CEO's desk at 6 Hour headquarters, I guess, what generations we're actually getting. Maybe an early generation had a different size pin, or maybe it was a universal kit that goes out for everything. Good idea though. Big Joe Firearms and Reviews commented, another fantastic video, share the same views on many topics. That's always nice. Love your ideas for future videos. Maybe you're down the road. This got cut off. He says we like to get together for a joint venture. Hey, nothing's out of the question. I don't know how that would work, depending on where you're located and where I'm located, and how that could possibly be. But I'm not ruling anything out. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? And last comment, I didn't know when this came. I cut off the date. Mark S. Delaney unsubscribed from me. And that was off of the mailbag video I just made. Now, I didn't think... I knew once I had to stop shooting because of the scamdemic and start talking more, my views and my overall attitude towards life and the country and the world around us and politics would certainly put me at odds with, at least, well, judging by the last election, half the country, right? Look... Mark, I would say that, that's fine. I'll unsubscribe. I would say I prefer that maybe, you would engage me in some comments first. But then again, now I'm thinking of, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, by all means, unsubscribe. I mean, who the hell am I? You don't have to listen to me. And in going back and forth with you, Mark, am I really going to, in the history of the internet, nobody ever convinced anybody of anything. So is it really going to matter? I mean, I must have said something, although... To be honest, compared to my coronavirus madness ones, I thought I was kind of tame on the mailbag thing. Did I really? I got to rewatch that now. Did I say anything? Maybe he has a bias towards Leo, and he doesn't like the way I treat you, Leo. Leo, wake up. He's right off camera, just totally asleep. This dog sleeps 20 hours a day. Okay, that is the mailbag section. I'll do another cutscene, and we'll put a bow on this one. So what's the bow? Well, here's the bow. Now that I have two places where I can actually shoot, one of them is going to allow me a little more freedom to do a little more objective scientific testing on things. I'm going to get on that as soon as I can get a spare time and an opening, and get there at an off time where I can set up my chronograph and talk into a camera and not look like a fucking lunatic doing it. I'll get these videos going. I think the first one I'm going to do, again, because I love you guys so much, while everyone's hoarding and everyone's, afraid to leave the house, I ventured out into the land, apparently, where viruses hanging in the air, waiting to slide down your throat and stick to your eyeballs as you walk through the air. I ventured out to my local gun shop, and I keep lots of boxes of the NYPD specials around. You know why I carry them? Why? Almost exclusively. I've carried them for years. I know how they feel. I know how they point. I know how they shoot. I know where they hit on the guns that I carry. So it's going to take a lot to knock these off. But let's see if I can't do that. What are going to be my first contenders? Well, again, I'm going to try this M17 stuff that I mentioned. I picked up a box of this 365, which is specifically for short barrels. And Sig says this is going to go... it's going to go 1050, 1050 feet per second out of this wink 3.1 inch barrel. Let's see if I get that out of this, and I'll run it out of the old 4-inch barrel too, wink, and see what kind of velocity we get out of it. And I'm also going to do that 124 grain plus B plus Underwood, and I'm going to see if I'm going to get 1,300 feet per second out of this 4-inch girl over here. But also, I'm going to see how that, because Underwood runs hot, I'm going to see how that feels at 365 and what kind of velocity we get out of this short barrel. That may or may not be 3.1 inches. I'm also going to, I restocked, thank God, on, I finally got some 357, and I'm going to see how this works too. And I went down, they looked at me in the gun shop like, what the hell is this guy doing? Picked up some Golden Sabres, which is my go-to round. It's mild for my lightweight J frame. I also picked up an odd 135 grain Spear Gold Dot, 135 grain 357. I'm going to see what we're going to get out of this, out of the old GP100, and I'm going to run all this through the J-frame just for shits and giggles, see what kind of velocity I get. I picked up some Sig Sauer. This is 125 grain, I believe. This should be on the hot side. I'll see how this works out of the old GP100. And also, besides the Hornady, I still have some. I'll pick up some Hornady because that's what I'm currently running now. And look at this weirdness. I actually picked up a box of this polymer blend, whatever this stuff is. It's like, you know, the ARX. It's that copper infused, whatever the fuck, you know, with this type of tip on it. So we'll see. I mean, it's 90 grains. I expect velocity out of it. Ruger is optimistically predicting 1550 feet per second. Let's see how that comes out of GP100. And again, let's see if this is something that I might want to run in that J-frame. 90 grains, it might not kick as much. If I can get 1,300 feet per second out of it, that might be some type of viable self-defense caliber in a short J-frame. So we actually are going to do some things. We're going to get back into more shooting, less of this. I kind of like the mailbag segment. Let me know if you guys want me to throw that on the back of every video too. I think it's a good way to interact, and as you see, it actually does give me ideas. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. In the meantime, you know, thanks for all your views. Thanks for all your comments that I assume are going to keep on coming. Any new subscribers I get off of this video, I appreciate everything. And hopefully it's going to be more and more shooting. So enjoy the rest of whatever day this might be at 4:20 in the afternoon.